Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and as you may have seen from the stream that happened on Monday, well, ACCEL SYNCHRO ICEJADE was just a matter of time, and so here we are with the SYNCHRO. I found the formula. I changed just a little bit. Just one monster that was the key to have ACCEL SYNCHRO TRISHULA during your opponent's turn. You have different turn ones to go with that may or may not include the Eggy Rhine with the erosion, the search of erosion. So you can go into Herald, you can go into Unaffected Shenshin, Unaffected Herald of course, and Unaffected Trishula as well. You can just choose from all of this stuff, and plus you have of course the defense from the floating effects from the grave of all of the ICEJADE monsters. But before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So here we are, here I am. Now I have to say something to you, like the Unaffected Shenshin was actually underestimated by me. I thought it was simply not as good, but dude, this thing that boosts itself like at least 300 or 400 points is just nuts. And you know what else is nuts? The insane synergy between Shenshin and the Duonigis. Why is so? Because, well, when it's your opponent's turn, I mean, you can just trigger the Shenshin's effect with the erosion. You basically pop the Eggy Rhine or any ICEJADE monster you control to negate anything you need to negate, and that will trigger the effect of any ICEJADE monster in the grave that will banish itself to special summon an ICEJADE monster from your hand or grave. Well, because he banishes itself, you're gonna get the effect of Shenshin out. Why, instead when it's your turn, well, you can simply use the second effect of Duonigis that says you banish itself to boost a monster, a water monster you control, and the fact of course that it banishes itself will trigger the effect of Shenshin, and that's simply beautiful. Now the deck is super simple. You have access to multiple turn ones depending on what you have. I actually understood that you may get that you're not forced into double normal summon of Sea Serpent. Because that's what I thought with infantry, because infantry gives you the additional normal summon of Sea Serpent. But well, you can just the focus here is that the only additional normal has to be a Sea Serpent, while your classic normal could be anything you want. Simply because you can get the infantry with any of the Searcher, the Deep Sea Aria, or the skill of course. You special summon the infantry with Chimera, and then the additional normal is gonna be your Deep Sea Diva, while the normal one can be anything you want. The rest of the stuff is of course a lot of ICEJADE. I'm playing a lot of Tinola simply because these can recycle any ICEJADE from the monster, or actually any water monster that you have in your graveyard, and that's super useful, especially when you're looking at some specific levels to maybe set the field for a Trishula 0 or a Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier. So that's the point. And the rest is just the infantry, of course, the Duonigis. Better play 2 of this, because you might happen to activate the effect of Deep Sea Diva more times in a duel. So once it's gonna be for ACCEL SYNCHRO Stars Dragon, and then it goes into Shenshin. The second time could be for what it is, Drag-Eyed, or it could also be for a Berserker. Quindax is not needed for everyone who watched the stream on Monday. And the additional thing is Deep Sea Artisan. Well, this thing, it's what enables Trishula, because it's a level 1, of course. And I'm gonna show you the combo to enable Trishula, even though in that duel I didn't go into Trishula because it was not the best option for that opponent, but of course you can go into that. Cosmic Cyclone, simply devastating and super important in this thing, and yes, it is important to play Cosmic Cyclone above Typhoon because Cyclone banishes and it can eventually trigger the effect of Shinshin. Why the triple Cosmic Cyclone no other staple? Simply because when you go second, Cosmoclore can shut down everything, and you just need to care about back rows. What else we have? Synchro Overtake to search a Deep Sea Diva, that's why the Repetitor is here. The double Deep Sea area can search any of this, any Sea Serpent, so even the Deep Sea Diva, but at the cost of banishing one card from your grave, one Water Master from your grave. What else we have? I guess nothing else. 3 searches of the ICEJADE Cradle, of course. And the extra deck is HERALD, super easily summonable. That's why we play Soravis. If you don't have Soravis, just play Beaufort. The other level 7... Actually, it's not level 7, Beaufort. Beaufort is... level 9, I'm sorry, this guy, in case you don't have Soravis. And what else we have? We have the ACCEL Synchro Status Dragon that goes into Shinshin. We have the Dragite because it's easy level 8, and we're gonna have the Negate of a Spell Trap because we have plenty of waters in the grave. Status Dragon to enable the ACCEL Synchro Status Dragon's ACCEL Synchro. Berserker because we have an easy way to go into a level 8 Synchro Summon, and then the couple of Trishula. Keep in mind, you can also summon Trishula bypassing the Trishula 0 because you can change the level. I mean, you can have the levels that you want on the field. We have basically all of the levels. And of course, level 11. Guys, that's it for the explanations. And let's jump right into the replays. First duel, my boys, against Shadoll. So we're going first. Keep in mind the duels. I've already reached Kag, so I'm actually farming the event, the PvP event, the Duelist Kingdom. That's why it's there. But of course, it doesn't change anything. The trap cards that you get, it's not that much of an advantage, to be honest. But still, we got in this case the full combo because we got already something to discard for the skill. We have one Deep Sea Diva and we have the Duonigis in end. This enables one of the combos you can go for that is not the most common, the most consistent, but is one of the coolest ones. In this case, you need a double Deep Sea Diva, and what's happening is you use Tremora to summon the Duonigis. This was a misplay, guys, because with this I just got one banish off of their deck, so I should have waited and first gone into Deep Sea Diva. Deep Sea Diva to get the boy, the infantry, so we have the additional normal summon. At this point, Duonigis effect to increase its level to 6, and then it goes 6 plus 2 into ACCEL Synchro Status Dragon. But we got no effect to get the Deep Sea Diva from the grave, so that we can normal summon the Deep Sea Diva, use a effect to bring out the Artisan, and at this point you can just set your cards and you're chilling. So this is the combo to have Trishula, unaffected Trishula, by the way, 8 plus 2 plus 1, Trishula 0, of course. Or eventually you can decide to just summon an unaffected Herald that will come alongside an unaffected Status Dragon. So that's how you can have Trishula. I do understand it's not the best combo, but here was actually enough. Keep in mind you can protect your monsters with the effect of the Cradle that can still lower the attack of your opponent's monsters. He started with the Beast, and at this point I went straight away into Status Dragon, in this case summoning of course in Herald, because unaffected Herald is what stops Shadolls from doing their thing. So he went with the Dragon trying to get rid of the Herald, but of course it's unaffected, and he does know, I guess. Masquerina, Shadoll Fusion, but everything gets banished. Up Cologne to try to negate again the Herald, but it was not negated once again. Unicorn to use its effect. Discard, target this time the back row, at least something different now. He's got still the Schism back, and he sets a card, battles, he attacks the Herald, of course he has to, and then we're just getting the search, and in the end face Cyclone to negate the Schism. Now it's us to go, and we got the Aegirine, probably a perfect draw to get the thing going, and he just scooped. That's all, you do it, my boys, there you go. Second duel, my boys, we got Chimera, if I'm not wrong. So they're going first, so we're going second, of course. Let's speed things up. We know what Chimera is about usually. Let's see if there's gonna be something different, like something spicy or not. I don't think so. Should be classic Chimera stuff. We got the Crimson Gaia, we got the Nightmare Magician. Here he comes, Resonator. Apprentice, Coetal again, Beatrice of course, going into Cloud Castle to, that was actually spicy in the end. Cloud Castle reviving the Annihilated Archfiend, a fiend you sent to the grave. Wow. I will say wow, because well, these went into this thing that is of course a non-targeting removal. Pretty nice. Still not done yet. Chimera fusion into the other Baphomet, and he's done. Wow. It's us to go. When you go second, of course, you just need to care about back rows, because I went with the Cradle to get the Yugioh, and then, of course, I'm getting the Cosmoclore to shut down everything, and that's exactly what I did. So, as soon as this thing touched the field, this can't activate its effect, this can't activate its effect. It just has, I think it was eventually the Fiendish Golem, but Fiendish Golem can just target monsters that have 2k attack or more, and this does not have 2k attack or more. So at this point we can do our things with no problem. We're just getting the Kingfisher, starting to remove stuff. So I first summoned Deep Sea Diva. He went with the Swords Knight from the grave, and that was a misplay. So I should have used Kingfisher first, removed the Chimera, so that this effect would have not been activated, and then I should have gone into Diva. So that was a misplay, but still, I just attacked and did nothing else. Simply, actually, this was I couldn't use the effect of Kingfisher because all of these monsters has too much attack, but that is because of my misplay. Because as I summoned the Cosmoclore, I should have used the effect of the Cradle to reduce the attack of everyone. Again, misplays on misplays. I'm gonna tell you this, guys, so you don't repeat my same misplays. So if you're planning to use Kingfisher's effect to bounce something, make sure to use the effect of Cradle as soon as you special summon the Cosmoclore, so that you reduce all of your opponent's monsters' attack. At this point, he's got the Baphomet, so he can get a lot of stuff going. We got the Torrential Reborn, and basically a lot of stuff in hand that we couldn't use. He's got the Kaiju to stop us, and then the Generator guy to steal the back rows. At this point, we are in a bad spot, right? He's got the Chimera Fusion still, and then the Coetal to get the Swords Knight. He's going into the Swords Knight to use its effect and summon another Coetal. Don't know why. I guess he has no other fusion stuff in the grave. Tinola's effect activates to special summon the Yugioh and gives us the Erosion. At this point, Jormungandr to give him some more stuff. That's totally fine. We don't care. And now we're kind of chilling. At this point, Cyclone to get rid of the back row. There was a lens and not a Fiendish Golem. And now we have Diva, and we can do all of what we want. So Diva to get the Duonigis to banish, but it's got the Beatrice though. So milling the Crusader to flip down the guy, but Soravi says no thank you. At this point, Duonigis effect to increase the level. 6 plus 2 is ACCEL, Synchro Star's Dragon, that revives level 2. Effect of the boy to get an unaffected Shenshin. Here he comes. Now you use the effect of Duonigis to boost, but also to trigger the effect of Shenshin. So we don't care that he actually negated that, because we now can trigger the effect of Shenshin to banish something. So we went with the banish of the Chimera from the grave and the big boy. And guess what? This guy is so big that we have lethal through that. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Has to go against Virtuous Bonds, so Swordsoul, of course. It's us to go. We have some searches. I started getting the Tremora, then the Cradle to get in a Yugioh. I used the skill to discard the Deep Sea area, Artisan, sorry, and then so that I to get, of course, the what did I get actually? I got the Cosmoclore because I can use Deep Sea area to search the Diva. Now we use Diva to get the Yugioh, the Duonigis. Duonigis that banishes a couple of cards. It's got Blackout to get the token, still fine. Duonigis here to increase its level, going to ACCEL Synchro Star's Dragon. That gets the Diva back on the field. Tremora to summon the Yugioh, and Yugioh gets the Erosion. So this looks like the most consistent turn one that you can pull out. Omni Negation, an effective Shenshin, floating from grave, and and stuff, and that's it. And Cradle, of course. So he started with the branded in high spirits, and then he's got the Ecclesia, the Virtuous, to use the skill, get the emergence. At this point, special summon of the Ecclesia going into Mohi and not the Fallen of Albots. Interesting. So first synchro summon into Xixiao that uses its effect, searches a card, plus Mohi gets a draw. He's got another blackout to pop stuff. At this point, emergence to get the Long Yuan, and then Long Yuan's effect, here he comes, to special summon the boy in the token. He goes into his own Shanshin, and the damage at this point, Summit. And here I went with the erosion to negate the summit, and I use ACCEL Synchro Stars Dragon to summon my own Shenshin, because of course I'm about to banish a card. So Shenshin touches the field in attack position, summit is negated, Tremora banishes itself to summon the Agiran back on the field. His Shenshin's effect is activated, mine as well, and we got the Search of Agiran. Now keep in mind that this guy's unaffected, so while we can banish his Shenshin, he can't banish me, and he tried to, because as you can see, he's just banishing a card from grave. He tried to banish my Shenshin, but he couldn't because it's unaffected. At this point, he backs here to try to get rid again of the Shenshin. He realized he was unaffected, and he scooped. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Here we go, we going second against Exosisters. So Marta, Caspitel, let's speed things up. We know what they're gonna end on, right? Magnifica, probably triple set. Guys, he's got the bodies in hand. Just double set. I guess we were lucky this time. ICEJADE to begin with. Keep in mind, always the same thing. We got the Cosmocolor to basically negate Magnifica, basically. I started with the Cyclones, but I picked the wrong one, I guess, because it's got the Vadis to summon the stuff, then Cradle to get the Tremora, it's got Sophia and Irene, actually, to go into Gibrine, actually, Gibrine, I don't know how to read that. Azophiel and Gibrine touches the field, touch the field, Magnifica to banish the field spell. And I went with the Cradle, getting the Agira at this point because the Cosmocolor can't be summoned anymore. We got the Duoniges as well here with the skill. So I started with the Agiroin to get my Erosion. And then I went with the Diva. I don't know why I got the Duonigis. That was actually a misplay. Actually, not a misplay, but I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. So he went with the Effect Vader to stop the Diva, and that's actually a problem. Then I Satsu, and I decided to go into Deep Sea Repetitor just to have a monster that was able to go through Magnifica. He had to use the Book of Eclipse here, so we made him waste the Book of Eclipse, and that's fine as well. We got a draw, even though it's not enough. It's got the effect of Azophiel here, making that the effect of Azophiel to bounce my Deep Sea Repetitor, but Erosion triggers, so we can summon a nice hit from the deck. I don't know why he didn't banish the Erosion but the other card. I guess he was afraid of the other one. Agiran gives us a Cradle. And at this point it goes into a second Magnifica that can use the effect again, but we can just Erosion and negate that straight away, so we don't care. Popping the Agiron, Tremora's effect from grave, special summons the Cosmocolor from the hand. He's attacking, but he didn't read that Cosmocolor just lowers my opponent's attack by 1,000. At this point, Cradle to get the Kingfisher. He's got Book of Eclipse once again straight away. That is actually fine, because we flip that up, Synchro Overtake to get the Deep Sea Diva from the grave, and then Deep Sea Diva, normal summon to go into the second Duonigis, and he's scooped. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. It's us to go, and we have a couple of searches, and plus the Deep Sea Diva already in hand. We got the Tremora first, and then Cradle to get the Agiron. At this point, we got the Duonigis in hand. First, Deep Sea Diva to special summon the infantry, additional normal of the Duonigis, and change the level to 8, and it comes ACCEL Synchro Stars Dragon to get the Deep Sea Diva back on the field, Tremora special summon to get the Agiran, and this is another way to do it. So this is another turn 1 that you can go for. In this case, having the Agirine that searches the erosion, and of course you can choose either unaffected Herald plus unaffected Saras Dragon, or unaffected Shinjing plus a body on the field, and Agirine of course that has the erosion plus all of the ICEJADE's effect from the grave. So it's got Destiny trolling into Dragon Monster Knight. That was interesting. It's got Fossil Dig to begin with, and I used ACCEL Synchro Saras Dragon. He was afraid of Herald, that's why he chained the Mycelinesaurus, so too late. At this point I changed my plan and I decided to go into Shenjing because he already used what we didn't want him to use. So he's got summons, but keep in mind that no matter what he does, he can't get rid of this except by battle. But the more stuff gets banished, the more this guy becomes big. So erosion to negate the Oviraptor, but that actually couldn't be negated. That was stupid because it's unaffected, right? Yes, so erosion was actually wasted. I should have saved the erosion for the pop, for the double evolution pill, but I misplayed again. So Agirine's effect here to get the search, and we got the banish just from grave because both are unaffected. The Dinosaur monster, then it goes Dweller, still fine. First Tyranno, then Giant Rex comes back, another normal summon to go into Lagia that negates spell, trap, or monster effect. Double evolution appeal, that's what I should have negated. And then Tran the Dragon Duck, we got the Cradle here to decrease the attack of the boys, even though we were still bigger than anything else. So it just attacks. We use the effect of Agirine, actually a misplay because we just gave him more monsters to inflict damage to us, so that was stupid. But still, we got, of course, the Shenjin that can be taken out from there. Dweller in draw phase. At this point, Deep Sea Area banishing stuff. He's got the Lagia to negate that, totally fine, because now we still get the effect of Shenjin. Keep in mind, even Deep Sea Area triggers Shenjin. So we banished one Conductor Tyranno and one card from the grave. At this point, the Cradle plus the Cosmoclore that now shuts down everything, and we simply set the thing, and because we lowered the attack of the boy to 0, we can just go for lethal with Shenjing. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, just to show you that these turn 1 can even stop Shinobirds. But unfortunately, as you will see, I will lose this. I was just unlucky, in my opinion, but you tell me. So this to show you how this turn 1 goes against Shinobirds, one of the best decks right now. So as you can see, we got the classic thing. We're just getting Tremora to get the Agirine on the field, getting the Cradle just so that we don't have the prompt anymore. Erosion is here, then Diva to summon the Junigis, and here I said, wow, I banished an Amaro Winato, so I'm chilling, right? No. ACCEL Synchro Saras Dragon, reviving the Diva, of course, and here it comes. We have unaffected Shenjing plus the erosion. And even though we banished 1, spoiler, he just plays 2 in his 30 cards deck. He's got an Amano Winato to begin with. At this point, we were forced to use the erosion on Amano Winato, otherwise we could have not summoned the Shenjing. So as soon as we got a window, he's got the pre-preparation of rights, erosion to negate Amano Winato, so we can pop ourselves, and then of course to the effect of Tinola, we could use the effect of ACCEL Synchro Saras Dragon, summon an unaffected Shenjing. Here he comes. And at this point, we were chilling. Agirine gives us the Cradle Search, and then he's got all of his stuff to go on. So he started with Dinkitama, getting another normal summon of the Aratama that gives him a search. Then the preparation of rights, both the spell cards ready in his hand. He's got the Shinobirds Calling to ritual summon, going to the Peacock. And the stars align above the shrine to go into the other Peacock here to try to get rid of the back rows. So that was a good move. So basically I used Cradle before he actually leaves us, and here he comes. He's got another level 4 to go and be affected to search a ritual and a spirit monster. At this point, end phase, nothing else, and he sets the Milky Way. That is the only way to ACCEL Ritual from the grave. So we need to banish that in order to be safe in our turn. and that's exactly what I was planning. So as soon as it's our turn, we got Duel effect, banish itself, and not for the boost, but just to trigger Shenxing. To banish that, he activates that in response, but we're still banishing that because we don't want him to ritual summon, because now this guy is not unaffected anymore. So there you go, banished. At this point, Cradle to get the Kingfisher's effect to special summon itself, trying to bounce a monster there, and then I summon the Cradle, and now I'm attacking to go for lethal, but unluckily for me, he's got also Book of Eclipse. Without the Book of Eclipse, we would have simply done, bro, simply be done. And at this point, you know what's coming. He's summoning the guy to shuffle 3 monsters, and we are simply dead. We can't do nothing else. At this point, I actually, I regret not doing something else. I could have, instead of going into Cosmoclore, I could have gone into Deep Sea Diva first and get the Dragite. I could have not negated the Book of Eclipse because, of course, he would have activated the Book of Eclipse before I summoned Dragite, but having 4 monsters on the field maybe, and I say maybe, would have saved me, because he can just shuffle 3, and maybe with all of the effects from grave of the ICEJADE monsters, I could have saved myself. But who knows? We will never know. It's just shuffling everything and then going for lethal. Keep in mind that if we have just 1 monster and he pops it, we got the Egiran back on the field. Egiran's activates effect, and we get more stuff going. Anyway, guys, that was it, and unfortunately a loss. That's almost how you do it, my boys. There you go. Guys, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.